Recording. Yay. Well, welcome everyone to the first Get to Know VO for 2024. I'm Tish Hicks. I'm the Master Sensei of the VO Dojo here in Burbank, California. Joined by our amazing dojo team, Kelsey B, who's been facilitating this call, and Tyler Ashley, who is our talent support. So they're here to guide us and help us. If you need anything, touch base with them in the chat. What I'm gonna do a little welcome, and while I'm doing that, we would love to hear where you're from and what your intention about being on this call is. And I'll tell you what it is and what we're doing in just a second, so you can do that. So this is Get to Know VO. It's our free monthly webinar that we do that's here to open up the possibilities of voiceover. So we focus on something that will be helpful to you, opening up the possibilities of voiceover each month. And it's a chance to get together and be together and get a little dose of dojo in your life. So today, as we start the new year and are 17 days into the new year, it's kind of that time when the tide of last year has gone out and the flow of this year is starting, and we may have, after we put our cookies down, said, this year I'm gonna, yeah! And then sometime right about now, when the things that are back to real life and are coming together, sometimes maybe it's a little harder to keep that clear vision. The reality is that we can make our clear visions for what we're doing in our year, in our month, in our week, in our day, all the time. So today we're going to focus on the idea of vision boarding for this year. Who has done anything like a vision board? Raise your hand, or raise your virtual hand so I can see y'all. Yeah, or real hands, virtual hands. Yeah, awesome. So this might be part of your practice already. And so today we're going to take the idea of vision board and think of it as creating a puzzle box cover. The reality is that as voiceover artists and voiceover business owners, we are always figuring out the big puzzle, right? Some of us are just starting. Some of us have big chunks, big sections together. Some of us have the frame of what we're working on. Some of us big chunks together. Some of us have completed this part of this puzzle, and now we're opening up a new layer of the next part of the puzzle. So every holiday, one of my holiday traditions is doing a holiday puzzle. And in the midst of all the hubbub, I make time and space to do that. And the person who comes out when I'm doing that is someone, in some ways I want to be, in that it's giving me complete focus and complete intention, and all I want to do is work on that puzzle. I need to do this, but I want to work on that puzzle. So how can we create the focus of our own puzzles for this year, and thinking of it? Now, let's see. I just want to see what we got in the chat. So with that being said, Um, let's look at some of the things where everyone from everywhere is is sharing. So Lena have old vision boards. Hopefully some of those things have come true. And like to refurbish, upgrade, completely redo. Awesome. Brainstorm new ideas. Yeah. Ray in Albuquerque. Well, actually, let's have you guys voice in the room for a second. So Ray, why don't you share where you're from and what your intention is?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Ray. I'm in Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
Live in LA, but have been here for about 6 months with my wife. And she's in the industry, so she's taking a break
Oh,
with
cool.
the strike and everything. And so um, I've done a lot of like emceeing, write a lot of lyrics, rap poetry, and so I'm also an educator. So kind of like dictating and reading. I really would love to become more of like a storyteller, narrator, voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I love the world also of just like having. I built a little studio in my closet, and I've just been practicing and auditioning like on little Amazon books to do
Oh,
voiceover and narrating. And I'd love to learn more of the craft of building characters or and just like diving deeper into that. So definitely just in
cool.
it to learn and practice and try the whole process of it.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm realizing that you guys are putting down some of your puzzle pieces that you have. So actually, let me ask you this question. Um, and you can put it in the chat. If the metaphor is there's a puzzle, right? There's a puzzle. Um, Not everybody has nobody has to do a puzzle, right? So where are you at in the process of your puzzle? Are you just opening the box? This is the puzzle that my son gave me for for this year. I felt very seen because he knows it's the world of Shakespeare, and it has all sorts. It has a big picture. Some of it's sort of the same. Some of it's sort of the same, and it has little details too. Like you can go way in on the details. Um, so that's this specific puzzle. Where are you in your process? Are you just opening the box? Are you have you gotten your space cleared so you can do your puzzle? Sometimes that's most of the challenge. Are you still flipping over all the pieces? Are you not sure you have all the pieces? Um, do you have the edge pieces separated out? Do you have which chunks of the puzzle do you have done? Um, do you have half the puzzle done? Are you almost done? Are you just missing a few pieces for this part to be complete? So where would you say metaphorically are you in your puzzle? In your puzzle? Yeah, let's put it in the chat, and we'll keep on moving forward, and keep that in mind. And we're gonna do three separate things. Um, let's see. Carolyn's puzzle is all close to assembled. Looking for the edge pieces, making progress. Yeah. Um, yeah. Good. Putting the missing pieces together. Excellent. Keep on noting where that is. So, one thing that I wanna share in this metaphor as well is, what if we had a mindset that there were no missing pieces? There were no missing pieces to our puzzle. We just need to keep on turning them over and laying them out where we can see them so we can put them together, right? Let's try that on. There's not that they're missing. We just haven't turned them over to see them and put them in context of what we're doing yet. So today what I'd like to do is first clear a space for us to work on the puzzle this year. So first thing, let's do um, what what are three things? What are three things that if you look at last year, three things that are in your way, or keep you from working on your puzzle, or don't give you the space, don't give you the space and clearness that you need to work in the puzzle. What are three things that you can let go or release to clear the space for what the puzzle box and the puzzle that you're going to be working on today or this year? I'll give you a second to think about that. So I don't know if you wanna um yeah, yeah. Who has something they'd like to share? Who has something that comes to mind? Anyone have something they know? Yeah, Lena.
Happy New Year.
Hey.
It's a while.
Yeah.
Um, so I live in a teeny apartment and I've been doing all my research.
I'm sorry, it's hard to hear you, Lena. You're coming in and out.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit. Let's see.
Can you hear me? Is this better?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So I live in a very little apartment in Vancouver, and my voiceover work is happening in a makeshift, looks like a little igloo boarding house. And I've been designing a new space in my teeny office. Thing is, my closet storage in it. So I've been really last month figuring out how I'm gonna actually create what they broadcast quality.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm
So,
making, yeah, I'm making progress, and I'm really
mhm, yeah,
creatively coming up.
yeah. So one of the things that you can release is not having space to do this work. Yeah.
It, okay, thank
So there
you.
will be some. You will create some place to do this work. Yeah. Jacqueline, what's one thing that you can release, either a mindset or of a challenge? That what's one thing that you can let go of?
Well, I'm returning after a long time away out of the business. And so when I tried to come back to it a year ago, I realized that like in the old days, you had relationships with casting directors, or, you would get calls and you would get work primarily through this more linear style of your agent sending you work, or you'd get to go into the booth and build these relationships. And so coming back into it has just been feels like you said, being a BO business owner. And I feel like I saw a workshop, you did it, I think over a year ago. And with, I think it was the SAG Conservatory. And you guys talked about that a lot, about having that mindset as a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's been challenging because the work hasn't come through, or the amount of work hasn't come through the agent, and seeing myself as a business owner, and then having to have, now you're a sound engineer, now you're
Right, right,
all of
right.
these other pieces to it. You have to find your own work, you have to
You
diversify.
can. So this is great. So what you can release is that the business isn't what it used to be.
Mm.
You can release that, right? You see how we all this is great. And as you're thinking about all the things, because oh my God, it's like just a bunch of swarm of grasshoppers, right? Well, this and this and this and this and this. When we get into that mindset of what isn't working, so how do you distill it down to what can you release about that? Oh, if I release if I release any expectation that the business is what it used to be, oh, okay, there's a clear space to start building a puzzle. Yeah. Yeah. Good, good, good. Anyone else have one more thing that we can say? And hopefully this is like hone in on what's one or two things that you can release. Who else would anything else that anyone would like to share? Gwen, let's hear from you.
I think right now I just have complete social media overwhelm. I
Mhm.
haven't been active on social media and know that that's part of what should be part of my marketing plan. And
Mhm.
I don't want to, I don't know how to comfortably. And it all feels a little too overwhelming.
Ah, okay. So let's unpack that. So a biggest picture could be releasing should, because maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you shouldn't. Maybe if you don't like social media, that's not your path. That's not your puzzle box, right? And then if you go like, well, but I think there's a lot of good things, then if you release that you should and then step into you want to, or what if it could, right? So should is one thing that I heard you could say you could release. Um, Overwhelm is something that you could say, I release overwhelm, which is, as we're honing in on our puzzle box, we don't have to do everything. We just need to, like, what are we working on? What are we working on right now? Right? Because sometimes it's overwhelming. And sometimes at the beginning of a puzzle, of a 1,000-piece puzzle, you're like, wow, I'm doing this for fun. Okay. There's a lot of pieces. Oh my God, there's still more in the box. I haven't even gotten them all turned over. It's a little like, how is this ever going to come together? But then it does, right? Yeah. And then, and then you could also resistance, release resistance to social media and see what happens there. I do social media a little bit every day, or I I'm doing social media, even though I'm afraid, or even though it scares me, or it makes my stomach churn. Um, so do you see what we just did? We just cleared some space, right? Because when we have a jumble of all this stuff that hasn't worked, then we don't have any place to put our puzzle pieces out, right? Or we're not looking at them clearly. That might be a little clump. You might have a little clump of things that you separated out. Bear with me, is a big metaphor here today, guys. But things that you've separated out, like, okay, these are social media parts of the puzzle, and like they're over there, but I don't know how they. I just don't see how they go. It's like, okay, that's that. So trust that you've got it separated out that far, right? And then maybe it's not time. You see where I'm getting with the metaphor? Good, good, good. Hopefully everyone's finding some things. And see, just three things we can start this year with. What can you release? Distill it down. Um, okay, next step is let's create the big picture. Now, one of the beautiful things about working on a puzzle is, well, there's several things. One, there's no right way to do a puzzle, right? Everyone will have the way their brain works or the way they want to approach it. There's no right way to do a puzzle. So you're going to figure out your way to do your puzzle, right? There are things that, make a lot of sense, like separating out the edge pieces and creating a container. That is an approach, but just trust that there's no one way to do it. And I got so excited about finding the edge pieces. Coming to the next. Oh, the big picture. So let's do this next. If you had, let's go the big picture of like your sustained, successful voiceover career. And what are the things, that are on your like your 50 years in the business puzzle box, or however many years that you intend to do this, right? What's your like, voiceover legend, or voiceover, I made my living, doing this. What is on that puzzle box? What are the pieces on there? what are a few things that, what does that look like? We'll do the big picture and think of this as infinite. This is infinite. At the dojo, we do an exercise called the Universe Cafe in the Mystery and Mastery program. We do this exercise called the Universe Cafe. So imagine that you go to a cafe, a restaurant, and the the menu is infinite, with things that are possible and things that are impossible, might be impossible or seem impossible. Anything that you can imagine, anything that you could desire, anything that you would want is on this menu. You just have to ask for it clearly, because the server can't take your order and the universe can't deliver it unless you have a clear picture of what you are ordering. So take a couple of minutes. Share it in the chat if you want. Write it down for yourself for sure. That your puzzle box of that is infinite. If you were putting things on it's not just a piece of paper. It's like an endless butcher roll that keeps on butcher paper. You can keep on going as much as you want, as long as you want. And then what we'll do, so let your imagination go. Notice where you put limitations on that. You're in a place where you can order anything off the menu. I'll just have a cup of clear broth. It doesn't even need to be heated up. That's okay, right? Sometimes we do that to ourselves, right? When we forget that there is this place where all the puzzle pieces are already assembled, or not assembled, but they exist. So there's a place where we can have anything that we want. I would like to share something from their 50-year commemorative voiceover puzzle box, the 50-year celebration of your career. What are a few things on that puzzle box? Who that we haven't heard from yet? Tyler, Ashley.
Yeah, I'll share. A few things. I think knowing your worth and being worthy is very important, and not putting yourself in a box, right? So I could specialize in corporate and not do really well in animation, but my agent keeps sending me animation voiceovers, right? So that's something where I'm like, I'm not comfortable in that. So do I stay in commercial and corporate, or do I go towards and build that muscle, no matter who else projects?
Yeah, well, that's a question, and that is a puzzle piece building. That is like putting the pieces together. Right now, we're just making the picture of the box. So,
yeah, so
on this
my
box,
box
what do
is
you want? What do you want? Then what do you need to do? So, what do you want on your box?
everything. What scares me, I do. What I'm not comfortable with, I get training on and I do better. So, for example, animation, right? If that's something that I wasn't comfortable with, I'm putting that on my puzzle piece as a piece. And now that's a part of my worth. And that's why I'm getting more auditions for it and more callbacks for it. And it's an amazing thing.
Because you're saying yes, I want animation. Actually, what you said is I want all of the things. I want all of the things. I want to be able to be making revenue streams from all of the ways that can be. Okay, cool. Then you can. Good. Who else? Who else would like to share that we haven't heard from yet? Anyone want to raise their hand? Joseph E. Parker. What does your box? What does your infinite box look like? Puzzle picture.
Well, I see it being more developed and more according to what I was envisioning all this time. Besides, I've been taught most of my life and I learned how to organize and manage. If I'm not perfect than anyone else, or if it's the opposite, or vice
Uh-huh.
versa,
Good, good,
yeah,
good.
my
So those are
puzzle.
all the things that are not infinite, that are like, yup, yup, yup. And what do you want? But
Yeah. Well, what I want is to have a great artistic career, not
okay.
in animation, but in voiceover, advertising, writing, reading, all of that. I want to conquer all of those according to my experiences. Based on my experiences, I really want to be in voiceover, not just by compliments or by threats, but I want to do this just for me because I feel myself that I can be a part of the environment. I want to be a part of the animation community.
Okay, we're
Just make
honing
it count.
in. Okay. So let's see. So this is good. So your puzzle box is very general right now, and it might be because it sounds like you might be putting your pieces over, right? Like you have an idea. But so if you want to be part of the animation world, what are you a Disney character? Are you part of the next Symptoms? Or like, what is it? What is it that be the dream of it, right? Um, See if you can get specific, because uh, and it's a little confusing because I said to Tyler Ashley, okay, so your goal is to have revenue streams coming in from every opportunity of voiceover. Now, obviously, Tyler Ashley is part of our team. We work together. We know, I know where she is on her journey, and she's getting those opportunities, right? So she can even go even more specifically. I would like this in narration, this and this, this and this, this and this, this and this, and ask for one thing off the menu of all of those things, right? And in order to be able to do that, she would need to know what those things were and what to ask for, right? And so this is awesome, Joseph. So you also want everything. The thing, and I'm not sure because we don't know each other as much, I'm not sure where you are in your journey, but I get a feeling from the way that your order has come through, that you might still be laying out the pieces and figuring out what is possible, or like what is possible and then how to get it. So if you could hone in on one thing that'd be like, boom, that's the dream, what would it be?
Well, I just like to point out that I want to be in the Warner Brothers entertainment system.
Okay.
After watching and listening to Mel Blanc,
Okay.
I realized that I have a great voice and the opportunity, a great opportunity, a golden one actually, to go to Warner Brothers and see what I can do. Can I do voice acting? Can I write? Can
Okay.
I
Okay.
take
Great, great, great.
characters?
Great, great, great. So the next Mel Blanc, I'd like to be the next Mel Blanc and keep Warner Brothers in business for the next 50 years. How about that?
Oh yeah, I love that idea. I
Okay,
like
there
it.
we go. Do you feel the energy that shifts when Joseph goes like, yeah, yeah. And then all the things that poop on everything. Well, Mel Blanc is dead and they don't make cartoons like that anymore. And who am I? And burby burby bur. That stops us. That doesn't clear our space. But did you just see that? Did you just feel that like, oh, that would be awesome, right?
Yes.
Cool. There you go. That's all this exercise is about. Finding that
Oh,
thing that may be possible, maybe feel impossible, but what is that, right? Yeah. Good, good, good. Let's do one more. Z. What did you come up with on your infinite board?
Yeah, so the cover that that Shakespeare puzzle that you shared was really, that was a great image because I just imagined like the what it looks like, right? Like what the tapestry is. And I imagined like a stuffed animal of a character that I voice.
Uh-huh.
You know, like that,
Merch.
just that, like,
Okay. Z's got
yeah,
merch.
yeah.
Do you voice are there voices for your merch? Yeah. Okay, so it's
Um,
an animated character that has merch. Okay.
and the image that I saw was having a studio at home
Mm-hmm.
and be able to um like finish a session and go be with my family. Like,
Ah,
so to
yes.
move from what I do currently, which is go to the studio, but to build my career around my family.
Excellent.
And so
So
like the center image was me working.
yeah,
Yeah.
my voiceover allows me to be home. My fabulous voiceover career allowed me for 50 years to be present with my family on a daily basis, ongoingly. And yeah, great. Do you see how that sparks? See, that's really specific. That's how it is. That's how he wants it to feel. That's there it is. Good, good, good. So that's on your puzzle box, right? So now every piece of the puzzle that happens every day that we have opportunities to do something toward our voiceover career. Because that's the other thing about this puzzle metaphor. You can have a puzzle in a box for 100 years if you don't create the space and time and then work on it a little bit every day or not every day. If you don't work on it every day, it'll be there till next Christmas, right? But the thing that starts happening is we go out to this big picture, just like we do, like, okay, uh, like here's, I don't know what this piece is, but let's see, is it water? Is it castle? Is it person? Is it a person? Right? So we go to the big picture, which is I work from home and am present for my family and have a vibrant career. Like where that's the big picture. Then each little piece that you pick up, how does that fit in, right? Where is that? Where is that? Because everything that you do each day that you do something, how does that fit in? And then oh, I'm doing this. I'm working on 10 pieces of copy today, even if I don't get them from an agent, or because that is going to get me to the big picture of I create my living doing what I love at home so I can be present for my family. That's your big picture, right? And then the game here, guys, is when you're working on a puzzle, at first it's like, oh my God, what is all this? And you don't know the picture very well. If you don't have a clear picture, you can't know what it is that you're looking at when you pick up each piece, right? I inherited a puzzle that was like a real wooden jigsaw puzzle from the 40s. And it was intense times back then because it was a jigsaw puzzle, but it had no picture on the cover. It was a silver box and this awesome thing. So you had to look at each piece and go, I think it might be a river. I don't know, but here's a tree or there was no picture. So that puzzle is more challenging to do than when, and frankly, we all start out with no picture, right? If you're starting your voiceover career, you have no picture because you haven't started your puzzle. When you choose to start your puzzle, then you have some picture, as Joseph just said, right? Ta-da! Or a feeling or experience that, right? But how do we create what is on the box? When we create what we want on the box, then we can keep on looking at it, right? And then sometimes we don't even know what can be on the box. So that's where we're at. I don't even know what you can do in voiceover, right? So then you start understanding that. Yeah. Good, good, good. So this is like things or stuff that you want to be and do. And then I love this share Z because you're talking about how you want it to feel or what it will allow you to do. So that's the big picture. Now, putting together, we'll do one more thing, and then we'll kind of open it up and get a sense where people are at. So now, that being said, once you have your big picture, which is infinite, it doesn't have any edges, right? I've been doing this for 30 plus years, 30 years now, people. No, but I've been doing this for a long time now. And I'm doing the same thing, guys. What is my picture? You know, to be really honest, my puzzle box was pretty impacted the last couple of years, taking care of some family stuff that didn't allow me as much time that I usually am able to focus. I was working on puzzle every day. I did my auditions and have my sessions, and things keep on coming through. But last year's puzzle box was not what I usually expect, and it was interesting because I came to the end of the year and went, wow, that's, financially, that's not what I expect. That's really not what I expect. But it was interesting because once, towards the end of the year, things started to clear up and space started to go like, oh, okay. And I did say, I set an intention for this next month that it's not going to be, that it's going to be at least this. And then it was interesting because I just shifted that picture in my mind, that number on the page or on the year to date, and things started shifting. Like there was a bunch of Subaru sessions that came through. Usually we do one a month, but there was like another one and then another one and another one. It was a regional and national. So suddenly in January, this flood of goodness has come because I was able to go, oh, there it is. When I was early in my career, I remember one year saying, I had a vision. I had been doing enough so that my like, you put your pay stubs in, and maybe you don't know yet. But when you get paid for jobs, you put your pay stub, you get paid, and then you put your pay stubs in a folder, right? That's your income. And the year before, the 1 year, it was like this wide. And I just set the intention on my puzzle box. I would like to have 2 file folders. I would like to have I would like to have a full file cabinet of pay stubs. And then that was the year that I booked. I became the voice of Citibank. I was the voice of all aspects of Citibank for 7 years. So it's not like, and then just do it, guys. Just say it and then it happens, right? I did everything, but there was something about that specific picture on the box that suddenly everything I was doing was working towards that, right? I didn't know it was Citibank. You can put those intentions or something like this, right? This or more, this or something like this. Yeah. So taking where you are in your puzzle, if you recognize where you're at in your puzzle, then it should be relaxing to continue to work on your puzzle this year, right? Because if Joseph is just starting his exploration of training and what's possible, and then probably not next year will he be the legendary next Mel Blanc, right? Probably not by the end, by what is today? By January 17th, 2025, he's probably not going to be the legendary Mel Blanc, right? But with that picture in mind, the next legendary Mel Blanc, because but with that picture in mind, what can you do this year that will allow those things, those pieces to get started putting in place, right? Does that all make sense? Let me just do a little gremlin check-in or a little inner critic. Anyone having like freaking manifesting bullshit? Oh, just think about it. Anyone having anything come up like that? Because that's important to say. It's okay if it is.
Always.
Always. Excellent. Good. Well, this is another practice, right? And I just didn't say, I'm gonna have a file cabinet full of pay stubs. I kept doing all the things, right? I kept on going, and this is building towards that. This is building towards that. Okay, so it's vision and then working on the puzzle every day that gets you to the picture on the box, right? So when I say just picture it, everybody, then you still need to work on the puzzle, understand your big picture, and keep on looking at the big picture and then down to the detail, the big picture, the down to the detail. And you'll have pieces in the wrong place, and then you'll go like, oh, that's not right. Okay, shift it around. Anyone else? Anyone else besides Brave Kelsey who said, oh yeah. Anyone else's inner critics going, bullshit. Oh, this is like Music Man, think, right? No? Okay. It's okay if you do. It's good to recognize if you do. And if you do, just try it on. See what happens. See what happens if you well, let's see. See what happens if you create a vision and work on it every day versus if you just go, I don't know, I'm just doing stuff, right? Which is sometimes what happens, right? Especially when we're fitting it in with everything else that we're doing, right? When we don't have as much time and space to work on the puzzle, right? This year, this is a good metaphor. And hopefully everyone's rolling with this metaphor stuff. This year, we had a lot of people at our house, and the only space that was available to start the puzzle until all the people left was on the coffee table. So I was sitting on the floor of the coffee table and started the puzzle because that impulse was there. Ha! Puzzle. I'm going to do puzzle. So I started it, and I started laying out the pieces, and I got some trays to be auxiliaries, and I started getting all the pieces laid out and started working on it, separated out the edge pieces. Then I got some of the edge pieces together, but there wasn't enough room on the coffee table to actually lay it out so I had the actual frame. So I was working and I was starting to get like, ugh, okay, first of all, this is really uncomfortable because I'm sitting here like this and my hips and but puzzle had to do it, right? So eventually it got to a place where I had big chunks together. And then everyone left for the holidays and I was able to put it out on the big dining room table uninterrupted. And there's a couple things that happened. One, like just the little details. Our coffee table has a glass inset, so there was an edge, so I couldn't just slide the big chunks that I had over onto a tray and take them onto the table. Because when I did, they got caught, and then I had to go like, duh, it came apart. I came so far, damn it. And then I had to like kind of put it all together again. Eventually, I got it all transferred over, had enough light on everything. I was sitting in a chair, and I was able to take the edge pieces that I did have and start putting them together. And I got the whole framework for the whole picture. And there were sections towards the bottom of the puzzle as I kept on looking at the box, like, okay, so this has a blue house and a little bit of that lady's red dress. Okay, where does that go? But wait, what is this? Where's it? And I thought there was so much more to the bottom of the puzzle. I was like, okay, I'm looking for these pieces. There's so much more to the bottom of the puzzle. When I got the framework around it, it was right there. Oh, that's the edge of the puzzle. That's all that's needed. That's all I need to do. And it started fitting together. And then I was able to put this was here, that was there. Oh, that's right. And then it started coming down to the, that satisfying feeling where like, oh, almost done, almost done. Oh, this goes here, right? So, hopefully it's not too metaphorical. But there's the importance of having the space and then being able to know the puzzle box. When we create the puzzle box and then we keep on looking at it, we get to know the puzzle better, right? We know what we're working on and what we're working towards. So let's do one last thing real quick here, and then I want to open it up to questions or reflections and talk about what else can you be doing? How can you activate this in your world? So going from the big picture, what would be a little framework? What are some edge pieces of, like if you had to create whatever this box for this year is, and it's all arbitrary, it's not going to be real, right? But if you start creating some framework for this year and put it on the big picture, right? Then what would be in your box for this year? What would be things like, so you were saying something about, I would like to have my recording space done. Okay, great. So put that on your box for this year, because that's where you are in your process, right? Yeah. So let's take a couple of seconds and work on that. We might go a little over 11. But yeah, so think about that for a second. What's a framework that you can set that you can be working on this year? Ray, did you go? Oh, you had a hand raised. What did you want to share, Ray?
She did actually, yeah.
I just want, was it me or the other Ray? Because there's two Rays.
Ray Smith Lopez.
Okay. Yes,
Okay.
that's Ray here.
But he's Ray and you're someone else?
I'm Erica.
Erica. Okay, awesome. Hi.
Yeah. Hello. So the big part of the edge puzzle pieces that are in the way of me getting started are, I'm having really bad sound issues because in my old space, I lived in a residential house, and so it was so quiet. I had a really good noise floor, but my new space has a lot of noise, so it's a lot harder.
So that's part of your puzzle. That's your puzzle. That's part of your puzzle for this year. You can't do voiceover, but I've got like, I don't know what they're building out here. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's something being built. So, I have a 6x6 whisper room. I did my auditions earlier, thank goodness, but but if I need to, right? So that's part of your puzzle. Great. So that's your puzzle. You need quiet to do voiceover. Where you live is not quiet. How do you make quiet within where you live? Or what other options are there, right?
Well, luckily I do have some quiet. It's just that only at certain times, like in the morning or at night, but not late at night and not like in the middle of the day.
And that's part of your puzzle. That's part of your puzzle right now. And then if you want it to be something different than that, then you'll keep on working on that puzzle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Let's see. Vivia, what did you want to share? What came up with your framework? That was really good. Erica, because it's like really specific. That's something that you can focus on this year and figure out. Yeah. And Vivia, what came up for you?
I'm so sorry. I thought this was an opportunity for questions.
Hold that thought. We'll get. So I'm going to have Kelsey share the great image that she created for this workshop, for this Get to Know VO webinar. Can you share that, Kelsey? Because it's something that you can be thinking about as we're putting this together. And then want to share some opportunities and then before the top of the hour, and then we'll open up and stay a little bit later for questions too. So when I had a vision of what I wanted to say with this, do with this workshop, this webinar, I said, I want it to be like a puzzle and we're putting it together. And then the things that we envision are on each of the pieces. So Kelsey took that, and this is like exactly what I envisioned. She did like, oh, that was what I had in my mind, and Kelsey did it. Yeah. So this is a way to think about, like, you could put your vision board out just like anything. I had one that was like the length of floor to ceiling.
Can I put a note out there, Tish?
Yeah.
And Tish was also like, yeah, but it might be too much. I don't know. That's asking a lot, maybe. And then I just was just like, here you go. Here's the and so sometimes you think that what you're asking for is way too much, but then it turns out to be something that's super workable for,
the universe. The universe. Yeah. That's great. Or it might be beyond my capacity. Like, Ben, I don't have time. I know what I want. I don't know. I don't have time to do that. But that's one other thing that I want to finish up, and then we'll share, like, we'll talk about what's possible next, or how we can help you do this. The other thing about puzzles at my house, I live in a house of boys. I have a husband. I have two wonderful men, 21 and 16 teen, early adulthood kids, and they don't give a rat's ass about working on puzzles. They don't care. They don't even try to put a piece in. They just don't care. But if when I go to my friend Kim's house, her daughter is a professional. She is a professional puzzle person, like a competitive puzzle person. So we go to her house and we all work on it together. So it's another metaphor of, if you create a frame, a box of what you want on your puzzle box, you can work on it by yourself every day, and you will, right? Because that's your compulsion to get this puzzle in place. Woo! What else did we find, right? Ooh, it's working. And then how do you also create a way that your career is working so that other people can be working on your puzzle too? If you know what you're working on, then you can say, hey, you know what I need? You know what I want? You know what I want? This. And someone will be like, oh, I know someone who works there. Right? Or I did this great workshop. So we'll think of how both the universe will be like, oh, that's easy here. And then the checks start flowing in, right? How it can be easy and how people can help and work together. So, and speaking, a segue to how we can help and work together, we have some New Year's gifts for you, New Year's opportunities for joining us today and or listening to the replay. So the dojo is all about this work, guys. This is what we do. We start with the internal training, opening up to what's possible, and then create a space for you to keep on putting your puzzle together with other people. Because it's, an isolated and solitary pursuit, working on puzzles, but we do it together. So basically, we are here to guide you from I don't know to working pro. Wherever you are on that journey, however far along in your puzzle we'll meet you where you are, and we can get you visioning what is possible and creating the way to be working on your puzzle every single day, to get your vision together. So if you're at the beginning of your puzzle or have some sections of it done, but you're like, if you're still flipping over pieces, and also if you have one puzzle done and you want to refresh and go like, right, working on puzzles, let's do it. We would like to offer everyone on this call and everyone listening to the replay $100 towards any of our programs. So we start with Launchpad, which is a self-guided overview, introductory overview, comprehensive overview of everything. like all the puzzle pieces, like laying out. It's a puzzle box. It's a puzzle box cover in itself. If you're just starting out, it's a great place. And we also have Launchpad with workouts. We have a Launchpad with workouts that are starting on Monday. So if you're interested in that, let's talk. So wherever you are, that's a valuable addition to your work. The other thing that I would like to offer everyone who's on this call is a spectator spot to come to one of our VO Dojo Pro fight clubs. So as I said, we go from I don't know to working pro and beyond, right? Like continuing to support you as a working pro. So Fight Club is part of our working pro division. We bring top-notch talent together with the decision makers who hire us. And we do this 3 times a month. Opportunities to work with top people in all different genres and great working pros in a setting that turns, we call it a fiercely friendly face-off that turns the audition process transparent. So if you've been sitting alone in your wherever, in your closet, in your booth, in your not even yet booth, and you're sending off auditions and it goes, whoa, I don't know what happened. The Fight Club is there to make that whole process transparent. And we do it together. So Fight Club is actually an excellent place to get ideas of things to put on your puzzle box or understand what it is when it is on your puzzle box, right? I would like to work with, I would like to work in high-end commercial VO. Great. Come to the Fight Club. Come to the Fight Club this Thursday. I want to be in animation. Come to the Fight Club next Sunday with Everett Oliver. Kelsey, remind me our new guest who's coming on Thursday.
Our new guest that's coming on Thursday is Barry Shapiro. He's a casting director for commercials. So if you're interested in commercials, I would get in on that because he's great.
And Everett, and then Ezra Weiss is animation, dubbing. He's absolutely brilliant. So we would like to offer you all opportunity to have a spectator seat for any of the January fight clubs. And in order to do that, we would like you to sign up for a voiceover once-over with Tyler Ashley. Could probably be a quick call just to get a sense of who you are, where you are, and then we can give you, we'll get you set up with that spectator spot. So happy New Year, everybody! Woohoo! Happy New Year to all. And let's see. If you want to take a photo of this awesome thing and put it on your vision board, I'll give you a second there, and then I'm going to take it down. And it's probably time. I talked a lot. Oh, we're a little bit over 11. So, and Kelsey should be putting those links in the chat, so you can do that. So let's do this for anyone who has to roll, because I know we have specific times here. Anyone who has to roll, would love you to put a Dojo O in the chat before you go. What's one thing that you're taking away that made you go, oh, or that you're going to take from here? That's great to have. And then we'll see you next time. We do this the third Wednesday of every month. So look forward to having you back. And if you don't have to go, we'll take another little chunk of minutes to maybe let's say another 10-15 minutes, and we will take some questions or see what's come up for you guys. And thanks for the extra time. I was just thinking about this. If you guys want, we can also, after we finish question and answer, we can also open some breakout rooms, and if you guys want to talk and brainstorm a little bit more about stuff on this call, we can have you guys meet for a little bit too. So let's see, questions. Let's put them in the chat. Vivia, you had your hand up, so let's start with yours, and then we'll put and then great O's here, guys, if you have to roll, and then yeah, put other questions in the chat, and we'll call you into the room. Vivia, what's your question?
Thank you, Tish. I appreciate this. I was wondering, for pulling content from dubbing shows, what's a good recommendation for ways to be able to pull the content so that we can splice it up for our reels? I know about iSpot, but I don't know where to go to pull like from shows that are streaming.
No, you're saying like you have booked jobs that you have dubbed?
Right. And I wanted to pull the content to use for reels, but I'm not sure where to go to.
Well, where is it airing? Like, for example,
Netflix and Disney Plus.
Record it and edit it.
Record it. Oh, just like use my phone and record the television?
Well, I see what you're saying. If you pull it off of the computer, right? If you pull it, help me if anybody's smarter than this, but like, so here's the puzzle. Here's a little puzzle that Vivia has. She's been booking dubbing and she wants to, so here's a little puzzle. So like my thoughts would go, oh, well, get Netflix on your computer.
Right, and download like a screen recorder and then just record your screen, and then you can either do it yourself or you can hire someone to just make a compilation of your reels.
Okay, download a screen recorder?
Yeah, like there's like one's called like Ice Cream. There's a ton of free open resource ones that you can look up. Open source screen recording software. That's what I would look up.
Open source screen recording software. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I do is I screen record it, or the client they might send it to you. If they don't, you can screen record it, and then you can extract the audio in like my favorite software that I use for my reels is hold on. Now that I'm talking, I went blank. It is amazing. So like you can pull that sound from anything. CapCut, CAPCUT. And so screen record it and then extract the audio, and then from there snip it, do all that, and then you can upload it. So that's worked really well for me for my work.
If you need help, feel free to send me or the dojo an email, and I can help you.
Thank you.
Gwen had a little note in the chat too about capturing video on phone. So do you see what we just did? Vivia had a little puzzle that's part of whatever her bigger vision is. How does she get herself out as booking more dubbing work now that production is back in? Then we all just kind of helped her work on that puzzle, right? So that's cool. Awesome. Let's see. I guess, do we have other questions in the chat, Kelsey? Or I see Lauren's hand.
Lauren, go ahead and bring up your question.
Hi. So hey, so with the Fight Club, I wanted to, because I'm already gonna go to the one in Ezra because of core, but I wanted to go to Barry's this Thursday. But my question is, in order to do that, you have to schedule, your appointment with Tyler, but Tyler doesn't have any appointments for this week. So how would I go about doing that?
Oh, well, let's see what's going on with that, because
Yeah, let me look at my calendar because I actually do have a lot of people on my calendar this week, which is exciting. So that could be what that is.
well, if you're finding out that you don't have there's not spaces, then why don't you email Tyler Ashley, and then we'll see what we can, like, we'll make sure that everybody has enough space. So
Yeah, that would be great because I can't go to the one on Sunday and I'm already going to the one next Tuesday. So the only other one I can go to is the one on Thursday.
Good. Well, I love you collecting your prizes and then collecting all the prizes, and yeah, that's great. And Lauren is part of. So you did Launchpad, and Lauren's part of the Mystery to Mastery program, which is called the Core, which is a weekly workout that we focus on self-direction skills, and so we do spotlight coaching, we do a direction circle, we do an audition round, and then the fourth element of that core program is that you are always a spectator on the last Tuesday of the month to the Fight Club. So if a once a week workout is something that sounds really cool to you, core is a great affordable way to, once you do Launchpad, you can join core. Launchpad with workouts, you can do core, and get that started. So if that's something interesting, that's cool. Yay. Cool. What other questions? What other questions? And Tyler, Ashley, if you don't have time, I have time. So we'll figure out we'll figure out how to get people talked to this week. So this week and next week. Yeah. Okay.
Joseph has a question.
Yeah, Joseph, what's your question?
I just put it in the chat
Yeah.
that how do I do a real professional VO reel? Because on YouTube, I have one video that's short and one that's long. I don't know which one is that could work out on even more. So how do I do a real professional VO reel?
Okay. So what I hear is that you have some work that you could share as samples, and I think that's a good way to think of it. If you have something that you're producing yourself, thinking about that as samples. And then how do you create a demo? Well, first of all, first of all, what would you want to create a demo in? If you don't know the answers to that question, then then go find the puzzle pieces, right? Are you ready to make a demo? What do you want to have? What do you want your level of experience to invest money and time into making a demo that will be competitive? What are those requirements? And if you don't know what those are, then what have you been doing to know what is, what training have you been doing to get to be at that place that you're ready to make a demo, right? So there's a series of questions. I think a lot of times when we don't know, when we haven't had any experience, it's like we were just talking about this yesterday on the Launchpad Q&A that comes with Launchpad. We're just talking, if you are at the bottom of a mountain, and this is the top of the mountain is a sustained, successful voiceover career. If you're at the bottom of the mountain and you just go, I want to be up there. When you're just looking at the bottom of the mountain, you're like, how do I do that? How do I do that? Right? So, and then what you just said was, I'd like to be at base camp. How do I get to base camp? Right? Because having a demo is kind of like setting up a base camp. That means that you've done enough you've done enough steps on the mountain to be able to to be able to go, okay, I'm here, I'm doing this, I'm investing my time and energy to, I'm going to go the rest of the way, right? So I don't want to get lost in too many metaphors here, but it sounds like there's a couple of questions before you put a demo together. So the first things are you ready? Can you pick up any piece of copy that's put in front of you and nail it within 1 or 2 takes without any direction? If that goes like poof, then don't worry about making a demo. Once you are at that place and understand what that is and what you're intending to do and what you're bringing to the party, the voiceover party, then what you would do would you would get recommendations for excellent video voiceover demo producers in whichever genre that you're working in, and then you would interview them and see if they're the right fit for you, and then you would create a production schedule with them. Also, the inherent in that is having the resources for that, right? Because that is an investment in your business. So there's a couple of layers to what do you do and when do you do it. Hopefully that's helpful, Joseph.
Yeah, even if it goes over my head, I understand right now because I've been, like I said before, have been educated enough. I'm still being educated on doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you started the mountain, the trek, so that's good. That's good. Yeah. And when I say don't worry about it right now, keep it in your vision. I would like to have a demo. I would like to have a demo by when? I would like to have it next Tuesday. Is that practical? Is that going to be most impactful for building my sustained voiceover career? Because people out there can produce your demo. I'll share a real ready, a quick, are you ready story that was one of the turning points, crucial turning points, that I think was directly responsible for what has become my 30-year career. I had done a year of training, more than a year of training, or about a year of training. And I was like, I think I'm ready to do my demo. And the amazing demo producer that I went to, we did a coaching session. She said, you are 98% ready to do your demo, and I am not going to produce it for you because you need to be 110%, 130% ready to step into this major market in Los Angeles to do that, right? And so I went back to the drawing board for another 6 months, and then I was ready. And then I made a demo. Then that got me an agent. Right? So you can do it anytime, and then it may or may not serve you in the way that you want it to. You'll probably need to do it again sooner rather than later. Yeah. So hopefully that's helpful. Any other questions?
I was just gonna say, just really quick,
Mhm.
that you have to be careful because some people will take advantage of the fact that young voice actors are so eager and like excited to get in the industry that they'll be like, I'll offer you a workshop and then at the end we'll do a demo. When really, like Tish was saying, it really depends on, okay, if you want an animation demo, how much animation experience do you have? And like, how many classes have you taken? And do you feel prepared to make that delivery? It's not about like, I want it as fast as possible, because at the end of the day, your first demo is going to go so fast. Like your first demo, it's like notorious that it's like has a short lifespan because you just, you get better and better and better so quickly. So I just wanted to add that because that's a common Twitter scam type of thing.
Yeah. And the more you understand what's required, then you can go into these meetings informed and prepared, right? Yeah. Good. Awesome. Well, we've got a few people left here. Yeah. So I think Is anyone interested in doing like hanging out in a breakout room? I can hang out for a couple more minutes. Tyler, Ashley, I don't know if you have a couple more minutes to like take a room and talk to people, and Kelsey, or maybe we might want to just we just do well if we all take a couple minutes to start people off. Can we set up? Well, let's see who's left.
Yeah, because we might be able to just stay in this room if it goes down a little, might be able to get the energy together just here, depending.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, why don't we take like another 10 minutes, and I'm gonna take a little bio break. But why don't you guys introduce we'll make this like the after hours sort of hangout, and and just introduce yourself, and talk about what you got, and or if there's anything that you want to expound on, or from what we worked on, and yeah, we'll just do a little after hours. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes, 1 minute. But yeah, if everyone wants to maybe just introduce yourself in the room, and then start the chat, start the shares. I'll be back.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start. My name is Kelsey V. I'm a voice actor from Dallas, Texas. And I'm also currently working on my like overall vision and trying to figure out my specific pieces. It's all coming together. It's like all coming together very slowly. And I'm starting to kind of see like, okay, oh, okay, yeah, it's coming together. But yeah, I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say, and see you progress forward in your journeys, wherever it may be.
Thank you, Kelsey. I'm Vivia. I'm originally from Chicago. I live in Los Angeles. And the whole puzzle explanation was really interesting for me. I definitely have work that I've done that's just like scattered out, and I'm in a space where I'm looking to pull all those pieces together in a cohesive, like, here I am, here's what I have done, and be more specific about what I'm looking to do.
Yeah, okay, I'll go. I kind of said this earlier, but I am in the worthy stage of just asking for any and everything that I want. Manifestation abundance, you call it in and you claim it. And I've started to throw internationally, and it's coming back. Working at the VO Dojo, I love the arts. So just being able to just be a part of the team is amazing. And to be able to talk to people about their voiceover careers and their goals, it just feeds me, So anytime that I can pour into others here is just a gift in itself. But yeah, my biggest puzzle piece is I've leaped, I've jumped, I've done all the hard, scary stuff. So now it's just like, just ask for it and take it. That's where I'm at. I see multiple boxes on my table, right? And now Tish has introduced us to puzzle pieces. So now we got puzzle pieces in each box, So now it's like, okay, take it, and then let's see what happens. So.
I'm Gwen Steele. I'm just north of Denver, Colorado. And yeah, this has been a really good way for me to kind of reframe what I'm hoping to do this year. I just really need to get some focus. I left my day job at the beginning of the year, not because I'm ready to go full-time VO, but because I just couldn't see a way forward with a job that was asking so much of me, that would allow me to go after other things that I want in life and in my VO career. It's a presidential election year, and I'm really, really excited to go after political work this year. I don't do animation. Political is my opportunity to be a villain. So that's really exciting for me. And yeah, going after international clients and more corporate, kind of boring stuff that fits my very earnest sounding voice. So just, yeah,
Boring,
kind of.
perhaps boring until you get paid for it.
Yes, yes.
Right. So, like, shift what you're putting on your puzzle. Because, like, do you want a corner of your puzzle to be like boring? Here's the boring stuff.
Well, I'm good with boring. I'm good with that being boring.
Okay.
Somebody's got to do the boring government work, right?
Excellent. So that's great. That's a great thing. For me, anything boring on my puzzle box would be like, oh, that doesn't energize me. That doesn't. But for Gwen, it's like, yeah, that's great. I love that you just shifted. You like made it your puzzle box, right?
Medical narration, government HR trainings.
There you go. Yeah.
Right.
Boring all the way to the bay. Yeah, good. Yeah, well, how brave and true. Because you saw your bigger picture. And you kind of broke the frame. You know what you did, Gwen? You created a space for you to work on your puzzle. You saw that you were working on the coffee table, and that if you were to keep that job, there would never be any time to work on the puzzle in the way that you know you can and have it come to fruition in the way that you know that it can. So you moved your puzzle to the dining room, right? And probably with not having a job at the moment, it's going to feel a little bit like you're shifting it to the tray and you have to undo it a little bit, or it might, right? But you just put it to the dining room table. So now you're going to be able to work on it much more clearly. And part of your puzzle might be getting another job until the voiceover income is coming, but on your terms with your parameters. That's cool. That's cool. True and brave. Yeah. Excellent. I don't know who else had shared. I just came and like, whoa. Anyone else introduce? Carlene, it's good to see you here. We haven't seen each other since Chicago a long time ago. Hopefully you're staying warm. I can't tell if people are here or if just their pictures are here.
I'll go.
Oh, yay, Jessie.
My name's Jessie. I live in Florida. Thank you for offering this. It's offered a lot of mindset shift, so that's fun. I guess last year I made a lot of strides in I got a little home setup to practice on. I made a website and took a lot of classes, but I guess for this puzzle this year, I would love to learn more about the business aspect and how to build upon that. Because I always get stuck in taking the classes, which I love. But I feel like I do it too much that I'm not focusing on the other aspects.
Right. So maybe, so do you have a website? So do you have demos together?
I have a commercial demo so far.
Okay.
So I would love to redo it, but
yeah, and for you, Jessie, like in some ways, if this is your voice, your amazing, darling, and memorable, unstoppable voice, in some ways, the game with a video with a commercial demo would be to how does this voice apply in commercial realm, right? And your voice literally speaks for itself. So, there's probably this may be different for others, right? But what Jessie can do in animation is, well, she's got the voice. Then she needs to know if can she tell the stories and be in the emotions and all the things that are required by animation. But it's like a no brainer of like yeah, okay, anything small, we can Jesse's our person. So yeah, I think then just what so it sounds like you've been investing time and so what does starting your business look like? You have the tools. So what does it like? That would be like what? That's where you can put your puzzle box together. Um, um, so what does a business mean? How much money would you like your business to make? How much money are you going to invest in your business to make that money? How much time do you have? What do you see your business doing? Yeah. Or just in general, figuring out what your puzzle is. What are your next questions? And then how do you get answers to those, right?
I guess my question right now is like, is kids learning animation the same as animation, or are they two separate?
Educational. Well, educational is its own realm. And there's like some semblance of crossover. Like for instance, one of our dojo members, Chuck Wedge, is a producer at Leapfrog, which is really an interactive educational company. They have animated characters, right? Or characters that are kind of like animation. The job that they're doing, the function that they're serving is educational. So it's there's some similarities in that it's characters, but the function and how that business works is way different than how animation works, right? And who you would be in touch with, and who would you want to get to know, and who would you want to get to know you, are two different realms, right? Two different realms. Yeah. I feel like we might have recommended this before when you've been on calls, but we do have an excellent Go guide. We have Dojo Go guides where we invite Dojo alumni who are successful in a genre to put together a presentation or a share of some of the fundamentals of approaching that business. So there's a really good Go guide that Chuck put together for us about getting started in the educational, the voice of toys, sort of that interactive and educational realm. That might be worth looking into. If you're interested, you can touch base with Tyler Ashley and she can connect you with it. And then that could be just like, that could be your puzzle, that could be your puzzle this year, or, for the next few months, or whatever you want to do, or a piece of your puzzle. And I think that's actually usually a better way to do it. I'm working on this section, and then what's another section that I'm working on. But your voice is perfect for it. So then what are the how do you tune in, and then basically open your store, right? So
Open the business.
Open your business. Yeah. Open for business. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Thank you so much.
Oh, sure. My pleasure. It's always such a treat to hear your voice. Yeah. Anyone else? Did we hear from everyone else? Or, I'm interested in Robert's little, is that a Pokemon? I think it's a Pokemon, is it?
It's Kirby.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Anyone
One
else?
only. So yeah, it's Joseph Parker, and I also I want to tell everyone that I'm not only interested in voiceover, but I'm a student in a college called Hostos Community College, which I am in now. The
Mm-hmm.
campus building itself in the Bronx, in New York. So my major is digital design and animation, and
Mm-hmm.
I be in and out of their sound studio, interested in audio books and doing poetry. I've been doing a lot of poetry lately, and I'm getting the hang of it. And
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to voices, when it comes to men in general, there's so many opportunities and examples and references to be coached over. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like there are many characters that I can learn from, that I can relate to, and the story timing has to be as adequate and explicit and specific as possible. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the even though they can make you laugh or make you cry, it
Mm-hmm.
always can move you. So even if I hear a guy named Phil Phil Lamar or Jeff Bennett or Jim Cummings or so many others,
Mm-hmm.
I like to meet and see those people in action still to this day. Even Mr. Rob Paulson himself, who went to Comic Con last year, and Maurice LaMarche, Tim Curry, many others. Yeah, I feel like there's so many people who want to be there who just need to have time to uh, have their puzzle being completed, but it's gonna take a long, just develop, just have that progress being more bigger, and just be as better, not just perfect, but just be better than you will ever be. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if there's
Yeah.
anyone who needs advice, I'll be more than happy to give them that advice.
Oh,
So
that's your gift. Yeah, yeah. Well, a couple things that come up, like sharing with you. So poetry is an amazing thing that you guys can be doing to build your voiceover career. I know it's not there's no money in poetry, but the experience of delving into poetry and words and all the possibilities of poetry, that can be part of your practice. That that making that part of your practice will absolutely um, deepen your voiceover abilities. And then yeah, super cool that you're in process of exploring what's happening on both sides of not just being a voiceover person, but someone who creates opportunities for yourself and others in creating stories. So that's super cool and proactive. Um, and then it sounds like Joseph, if you have time in your class schedule to explore the launch pad and possibly the launch pad with workouts, it would give you a real sense of a puzzle cover. Like it would give you a real overview that as you're sharing, I hear there's stuff and then I hear like, oh wow, I think it just give you a context for a lot of different things that might be very helpful as a base to keep on building from. So, um, yeah, like a puzzle box. It would be a first, it'd be like a starter kit for a puzzle box that you'd be like, oh, okay, I see where all those. Okay, I get it. That might be relaxing and allow you to be moving forward in the way that you want to start those 50 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, I see many of you being heard on the radio or just having being on a podcast or being any of those book clubs that I see online.
Mhm.
Oh, I feel like you people can be a part of those, and so we can just collaborate on those type of subjects that books are are expanding right now. Even when you have a voice like this,
Mhm.
being told
But
to you a story, or have a voice like this tell you a story.
yeah, well, I think it's great. Like the more collaboration that you have, the better. I do think that making sure you know that you have some context is really important too, because you can be working on stuff, but it may be out of context, and so So like, there's some things in like just what you said that that there is some truth to it, but the way that you're thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, and it's deeper than that. Like, how does it all fit together? So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's deep.
and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of I think you also have a separation of there's people, the people that you admire, and then you're keeping yourself separate. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, in reality, it's complicated. It's difficult to stretch out into the industry, but at the same time, I can make it. You can make it. Like Robin Williams said in one of his movies, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. So I can really I identify with that quote. I can appreciate more and more. But to promote myself, I have a YouTube channel, two actually. One that's Joseph E. Parker, and one that's called Joey Parks Cartoons. So if any of you are interested in knowing what I'm trying to say,
Yeah,
they're right
I'm
there.
gonna put them in the chat. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, cool, awesome. Well, Esther or Robert, is there any? Are you still here? And is there anything you want to share? If not, I think maybe we'll wrap this up. And thank you all for being here. Gwen would love to talk more if there's anything we can do to support you, because you're in a really awesome, brave, true place that you're in with your voiceover career. So let us know how we can be helpful. And yeah, and Tyler, Ashley, and Kelsey, thank you so much for putting this all together. And great to see you. And we have so many opportunities to come together each month, ask the sensei and get to know VO. Once you're in Launchpad, there's another call, basically like office hours or a little laboratory to explore what we're talking about in the Launchpad. And workouts start on Monday, so I'd love to have you all there. So
I'm gonna drop the link in the chat again.
Yeah.
Just so you guys can see them. And also, Joseph, I would say just remember that the greats started out eating ramen. Just remember that. I don't know how many times I heard stories of like Tara Strong was like, she was like, I remember I was getting evicted like at the beginning of my career. I almost went back to Canada because it was so bad. And like everyone you can think of, Clancy Brown, all these incredible people, they went through a struggle to get where they are, so none of us are so far away from that. Like,
yeah.
I hear that, Miss Kelsey. I hear that loud and clear.
Awesome. All right, guys. So, yeah, touch base with Tyler Ashley, either via email or through the VOO, and yeah, and we'll see you all next time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.